Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to Rookie Review. This week's movie, Hereditary. Now this will be a spoiler-free review, as God forbid I ruin the terrifying twists and turns of this horrifying classic.
Psst, there aren't any, and the movie isn't that good.
The hype for this movie came out of absolutely nowhere, mainly due to pretentious movie outlets giving it 5 stars across the board, and calling it this generation's Exorcist. To be fair, what movie can possibly live up to such hype? The movie begins with the death of a matriarch of a family, leaving behind a torn, broken and dysfunctional family who can't grieve or deal with their emotions properly. At this point, it sounds like your typical Oscar bait movie, and to be honest, if it cut its losses and just stayed within the realm of a generic family drama, I'd be inclined to give the movie a glowing review, just based on Toni Collette's harrowing performance of a tormented and emotionally unstable mother and daughter Annie, and Alex Wolff's awkward and terrified Peter. These two performances, and how they clash against one another, and how they deal with processing their emotions and grief in unhealthy ways, is the crux of the movie, and the angered, hateful chemistry these two characters share is genuinely Oscar-worthy. Somebody has mummy issues. However, we must remember that this movie is billed and advertised as a horror movie, but the supernatural occult aspect, which let's face it has been done to death, has become the go-to subgenre for horror movies and is common as muck now, and is not groundbreaking or unique at all. And in this movie, it feels completely tacked on, just to make it an easy sell to audiences, and probably even to the studio. Right from the opening scene, the clear focus of the movie is family and heritage, but also how dysfunctional and disjointed the family is, with secrets and unsaid truths oppressing their true feelings. The musical score, used right off the bat, helps create atmosphere, and reminds you that it's attempting being the optimum word, to be a horror movie. Let's face it, an effective score is necessary in order to create a legendary and creepy horror movie that stands the test of time. Hereditary has the score, just not the scares to go with it. Annie, being a professional sculptor who recreates dramatic and poignant moments of her life, helps to create a unique setup and transitions for some scenes, and also adds to the feeling that this movie feels very theatrical at times. The limited cast, confined settings, and intense drama all aid my belief that this will be better suited as a play rather than a film. You can read into whatever symbolism you want with regards to Annie and her miniature models, the models being a visual representation of the stilted oppression of the house, how important and tragic family moments are never grieved over properly, but rather dwelled on and fabricated to the point that they become dramatic parodies of what they really were and what they meant, or just further pretentious bull that literally any other review of this movie is praising to no end. Go on, I'll wait. Yes, genuinely, I'm encouraging you to go and watch and read other reviews of this movie, and when you get back, we can all sit back and agree that they're all wrong. Even when this movie puts all its energy into being scary, it just falls into the same cliches we've seen time and time again. A large open house, isolated and cut off from the rest of society, the young, creepy kid who has no friends and is obsessed with the macabre, seeing unusual things in school that no one else can see. Nothing about this movie stands on its own 2 feet. It stands on the shoulders of horror greats that came before, but scales back the horror and adds a healthy dollop of family drama. And everyone has creamed their pants about it. Why, I ask? Why? Toni Collette and Alex Wolff's fractured mother and son relationship, spiralling into deeper despair, while Colette's Annie becomes increasingly and unsettlingly unhinged, and Wolff's Peter becomes permanently terrified and slowly reverts back to a scared and innocent child, is all masterfully acted and directed, with the final scenes in the house being the most intense and legitimately scary in the entire movie, mainly due to their dedicated performances, but also the common horror traps of loud intense music, frenetic movement and darkness. However, the revelation of what the actual horror aspect of this movie is, and what the movie builds towards and ultimately ends on, portrays not only the more unsettling moments of the movie, but more importantly, the integrity of the two standout performances and their blame game. The revelation of what this movie is all about, what's all been building to, and what the grandmother was involved in, is eye-rollingly stupid and completely out of left field, and has been done infinitely better and more intelligently in horror classics that have come before, like The Exorcist and The Shining. Some of the most dramatic moments of this movie also come about because of certain characters making dumb decisions, that if a B-list horror movie starring a bunch of horny teens made, will be ripped to shreds by critics. Peter's decision to take his little sister Charlie to a teen party and his actions afterwards are dumb, unrealistic, and would just never happen, but need to happen just so this movie can have an excuse to get the ball rolling. Considering this is a movie which prides itself on its highbrow, thought-provoking family drama, you would think the writer-director, Ari Aster, would nail down a decent script, but no. Instead we get literary classic lines like, "Get that face off your face." Who the hell talks like that? And for each amazing acting scene we have with Toni Collette, we get Gabriel Bryan. Has that guy given a good performance since Usual Suspects? Was he even good in that? Though some of the horror is created through some gruesomely shocking tactics, the movie tries to subvert certain horror tropes, but fails as there's ultimately no payoff. The horror in the final moments fell so flat that there were laughs and sniggers in the audience. And that boils down to the main fault of the movie, and its main flaw. It thinks it's scarier and more intelligent than it actually is. You know you've seen a dud of a movie when walking out of the cinema, everyone has the same blank expression. That they've been duped into seeing something very different to what they thought they were paying for. There's far more family drama here than horror, and the crumbs of horror that can be found is more unsettling than out and out scary. Because of how bitterly disappointed I am with this movie, I can only give it 2.5 rookie reels out of 5, and that's purely because of how impressed I was with Toni Collette and Alex Wolff's performances. Well, that was our review. If you liked what you saw, please like, share and subscribe. Also give us your opinion in the comments below. Did you like the movie? Do you agree that it's completely overrated? Or am I dumb and wrong? See you next time. Bye now. Cut off from the rest of the season. And unsettlingly, because of how dittily, just my shit up. Liked what you saw and have an interest for travel and adventure? Check out our other YouTube channel, Roman Rookies, as we travel across 14 countries in an 11-month whirlwind of fun and excitement. Just click here or the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.